This video will include instructions for completing Lab 2 in the Prevention and Care course. The objective of this lab is to determine the foot type and appropriate active shoe type for you. This video will include instructions which will assist you with measuring your own foot and helping to determine the type of foot you have. You will also be asked to answer some questions about your current shoe choice and whether or not it's appropriate for your determined foot type. Once you have figured out your foot measurements, the second part of the lab will require you to find a pair of tennis shoes that you own which has laces. The shoe must have at least 5 eyelets for the laces. Tennis shoes are the ideal type of shoe. Please note that you do not have to go out and purchase a new set of shoes. You can use tennis shoes that you already own. I will be asking you to select an alternative lacing technique for the type of foot that you have determined you've had from the measurements above. You will need to wear your tennis shoes with the alternate lacing technique for at least 3 days, and then we'll write a reflection on your experience. To measure your foot width, you will need to take a tape measure or ruler and place it on the ground. You will stand on top of it and take a measurement. You can ask someone for help if it is too difficult to take your own measurements. Your feet tend to swell during the day, and this measurement should be taken during the afternoon. You should also be wearing socks when you take this measurement. You will then take this number, either in inches or centimeters is preferred, but inches is okay as well, and type it into the lab Word document. You will take this measurement both in socks and also with your shoes on. So whatever tennis shoes you're going to wear for the alternate lacing technique, please use those when you're taking these measurements. You will take the widest point of your foot. This is typically around the ball of the foot. Both measurements with the socks and with the shoes on will be used for your lab, so please record your results. To measure your foot length, you will need to take a tape measure or ruler and place it on the ground. You will need to stand on top of it and take a measurement. This measurement should also be taken during the afternoon, and you should be wearing socks. You will need to measure to the longest toe. For some of you, that will be your big toe, and for others, that may be the second toe. You will then take this number, either in inches or centimeters, again centimeters is preferred, and type this into the lab Word document. You will take this measurement in socks and also with your shoes on. Both measurements will be used, so please make sure that you record your results. To measure the static arch, please find a piece of paper or a paper towel. You will be sitting in a chair for this measurement. You will need to get the bottom of your foot wet and then place the foot on the piece of paper or towel. Please try to spread your weight as evenly as possible between both feet. You will not stand up, you'll stay seated. After your wet footprint is on the paper, you're going to take some measurements, so please make sure that you have your tape measure or ruler ready. You only have to take this measurement in bare feet. You do not need to do this with your shoes on. Once you have the footprint on paper, you will need to take measurements. To calculate the arch index, the length of the foot excluding the toes, or L in the picture, is divided into equal thirds. The arch index is then calculated as the area of the middle third of the footprint divided by the entire footprint area. So if you take the area that is colored in light blue, B, and divide it from the entire length, L, you will get your arch index. To measure the dynamic arch, please find a piece of paper or a paper towel. You will need a different one than what you measured your static arch. You will start by sitting in a chair, but once your foot is wet, you will stand on the paper this time. Please try to stand as evenly as possible to distribute the weight over both of your feet. After your wet footprint is on paper, you are going to take some measurements. So again, please make sure that you have your tape measure or ruler ready. You only have to take this measurement in barefoot. You do not have to take it with shoes on. Again, we're going to look at this arch typing. We're going to use the exact same technique as we did to measure the static arch as we are going to for the dynamic arch. To calculate the arch index again, we're going to take the length of the footprint, excluding the toes, which is labeled L in the picture, and divide it into 3 equal parts. The arch index is then calculated as the area in the middle third of the footprint that is divided by the overall area of the footprint. You do not have to measure your ankle rear foot angle. You only have to identify in your lab whether or not you have foot pronation, which means you tend to walk more on the inside of your feet than the outside, or foot supination, where you tend to walk more on the outside than you do on the inside of your feet. It is easiest to take this measurement and to do this evaluation when you are barefoot. It is helpful to have someone else stand behind you and look and make the assessment for you. In general, different types of shoes can be useful for different types of feet. For example, somebody that has pes cavus, which means they have a high arch, they typically have supination. This means that they will typically use a neutral shoe or have an arch support. Somebody who has a normal arch, which means that the foot is in neutral most of the time, may do okay with a stable shoe or has a medial post. Somebody with pes planus or very flat feet will typically pronate, which means they walk on the inside of their foot, and they may need a motion control or a stiffer heel in order to help the foot be aligned during walking and running. The second part of our lab is going to include using an alternative shoelacing technique. Please watch the video below. I realize that it is very, very quick, and I'm sorry for that, but it does demonstrate some of the different lacing techniques. So please watch the video below and read the directions in the PDF entitled Shoe Lacing Techniques for more information on each lacing technique. Once your shoes have been laced, please wear those shoes for at least 3 days, and then you'll be required to answer some questions about your experience. Ideally, I would like you to describe what your reaction was to the lacing technique. Was it better, worse, the same, or could you even tell a difference? Do you think you'll keep this lacing technique, or will you change it back to the way it was before?